And everything was lovely once again.
This is Dan's Reviews, and after going over Dexter Season 7, there's one thing I do realize, and there's one thing that they remind you of. Dexter is very much the Bay Harbor Butcher.
You have to kiss me or it's bad luck.
And Dexter is very much a gigantic simp.
Fuck him. Santa, so many kids around the world are sad because of you.
Yeah, you probably.
Fuck him. Santa!
Dexter will simp for a woman that almost tries to kill his sister. The one guiding force and the one thing guiding his way. He lets poison her and still lets her off the hook.
Hi, Banana.
When you fucked me.
What?
You fucked me hard. And so now I have all this shit on my hands.
This is Dexter, Season 7. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for Dexter. This is our next seasonal review. This is for Season 7, the full season reviews. So, we just got one more season after this. We just got one more season of review of the main series. And then, yes, we will be also reviewing Dexter New Blood. And then we will be caught up on all the Dexter franchise reviews. So, what did I think of Season 7 overall? I thought this was a pretty darn solid season. I thought this was pretty good. It's definitely my favorite season since Season 4. As you guys know, I thought Season 5 was kind of average. I thought Season 6 was admittedly kind of fucking trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. Season 7, I would say, was pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? It was good. I think, in particular, the main thing I can say that stood out about this is that, and I don't know whether to compliment this or bash on this, really, but it felt like a final season. You know what I'm saying? It felt like an ending. That's why I get very frustrated with Season 8, because Season 8 is not what it should be, but we're going to cover that in the Season 8 video. But this season, I will say, is it's very well done in a lot of areas. It doesn't mean there's not flaws. There are problems. There are definitely issues with this season, but I'd say for the most part, they did a good job at the writing this season. So the storyline of this season is you've got this mob, basically. You've got this group, who is essentially kind of hanging around. They've got this big club and stuff like that. We kind of get introduced to them. You got this guy named Isaac who kind of runs everything and stuff, and his right-hand man, George, and a few other, members of his group, which I thought were pretty cool. And they're kind of our main villains this season. And I gotta say, they got really creative this season, because we actually have, instead of one big killer, we actually have a group of survivors. I thought that was seriously ballsy on the writers to do that, and to, very much unique on the writers' end as well, too. I thought it was really, really, unique to get a whole group of villains that are in here that are doing their thing, and a mob that, comes after Dexter at one point or another. I thought it was a really interesting idea. But the main story this season, I wouldn't say was them. The main story this season is the aftermath of Deb finding out about what Dexter really is. And holy shit, this was crazy. I mean, literally in the opening scene, you have Dexter on the run. You try to figure out what's going on, and then you're back at that scene in the church, right? And you've got Deb that actually helps Dexter kill Travis fully and burn him to the ground. And she actually covers it up and hides the truth about Travis with Dexter. So now Deb, immediately jumping into this season, commits a crime. Absolutely insane. And the dynamic goes so crazy, because then she does her research, then she looks into it, and then you find out that, of course, he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, and Deb confronts Dexter about this. And as soon as she figures this out, she realizes that Dokes went down because of him. She realizes all the people that have died over time because of him. But she also, and this is the interesting twist of the story, she gets a perspective of why he does what he does, and the people and the bad people that he kills. And she gets that, but also innocent people got killed because of what Dexter did. It's a really conflicting story. It's a really insane, turn of events. And now that Deb knows what Dexter is, it just absolutely unveils everything. Everything changes when she finds out. But now that Deb knows, I mean, this season goes into so many things. So many things are unraveled. And in particular, speaking of unraveling stuff, we have a storyline this season where LaGuerta goes all in. When they discover the burned out church that Deborah helped Dexter burn down, LaGuerta finds one of Dexter's blood slides. And that opens the Bay Harbor Butcher case right up. And she, at that point, is on a mission to prove that Dokes was not the Bay Harbor Butcher, because obviously these things, that this evidence that LaGuerta is finding is still things of the Bay Harbor Butcher. So she honestly now knows in her soul that it ain't, it ain't over. The Bay Harbor Butcher is still around. You know what I'm saying? So you've got LaGuerta this season that is doing all these investigations, and she's talking to, like, Agent Matthews and stuff, and she's trying to get everything she can. And she gets Dexter down to a T. It's insane. I actually cannot believe how far LaGuerta went this season, and it's easily her best season. Getting to see her coming after Dexter is one of the most insane storylines of the show. Now, of course, on top of everything else, now Deborah knows. And you've got situations where you get like these villains, which one villain this season that stood out in particular to me is the guy that locked up these women in this like maze house or whatever, and he wore these horns on his head and stuff. He was like a slasher type villain. He was around for a few episodes in the first half of the season. He was really scary too. And Dexter actually saves Deborah from this guy. And it actually gets to a point where when Dexter kills this guy, and might I just say, I thought it was kind of insane when he has the guy tied up to the table, and he's just like, fuck, and then Dexter like runs up to him and he's like, fuck, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was one of the funniest scenes of the show, and he's like, fuck, I was like, what the hell is going on right now? But anyway, they take care of that guy. That guy was a really good, mini villain for the season. I thought he was really good. He was like a slasher type villain, you know what I'm saying? And he captured all these women and did all these just heinous things and stuff. And yeah, I thought he was pretty intimidating for what they gave him. But he was just a minor threat. But the cool thing is about his character, and the reason why he is so memorable, is not only because he was a creepy son of a bitch, but also because Deb actually just lets Dexter kill him. She's like, yeah, you know what? It feels relieving that he's dead. Deb starts to see what Dexter is doing. She wants to help him. She wants to stop him. But she's committed, crimes now, too, to cover Dexter's ass. And now she finds a situation where she does realize that there are people out there that do need killing. And she's actually all right with that. It's crazy. The level of development that they give Deborah and Dexter this season is absolutely unbelievable. It's one of the best storylines of the show is, Deb now knowing about Dexter and where that goes going forward. You know what I'm saying? Because now she's covering for him, You get LaGuerta that questions Deb, did you know anything about Dexter? And it's like, no, I didn't, She has to consistently lie to cover Dexter's ass, and I just thought that was insane. But that was their dynamic this season. Really just crazy stuff there. But we also have this season, which I thought was really interesting, Isaac and his story, because one of his men gets killed, right? However, the reason why one of his men gets killed is because Dexter gets revenge for one of his guys killing Anderson, which Anderson was kind of a minor character last season. He was like an agent or whatever, and he gets killed in the premiere basically by one of Isaac's men. And Dexter takes it upon himself to kill this guy, right? Well, of course, after that, Isaac is pissed, and then that's what kicks off this whole rivalry. Now, let me just say, and I know the actor for Isaac unfortunately passed away recently, so I do seriously say my condolences to the actor, and rest in peace, because he is such a awesome character. He's my favorite character this season. He is seriously one of the most intimidating characters that we've seen because he has a group of people. He is coming after Dexter not because he's crazy, not because he's, some psycho. He legitimately cares about his guy that got killed, and he's coming after Dexter at any opportunity that he can. He views Dexter as a threat to him. And Isaac is such a charismatic villain. He's such a charismatic character, and I love what they did with him. Because they actually give you, even though he is the antagonist, you get a lot of perspective on why he's doing what he's doing. But he's also a cruel son of a bitch. I mean, he gets people to take the downfall for him. He always gets people to do things for him. But that's the mob. That's the business. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? And I thought his character was so damn interesting. He was such an intriguing character. And I, in particular, enjoy when they actually do the reveal later on this season, where you find out that the guy that Dexter killed is actually his lover. You find out that he is gay. He is gay, and he is, kind of getting revenge for the one that he loves. And, his boyfriend and stuff, he loses him, of course, and now he views that as, Dexter's problem, and that's the way it goes, you know what I'm saying? And I thought the team up with them was so insane when you actually get the mob that actually turns on him. They actually kind of flip on Isaac, and then you get George, his right-hand man, that actually screws him over and takes over the group from him. And comes after him hardcore. And they have no other choice but to have Isaac team up with Dexter to take down the mob and George and everything else going on. And that's what they do. Isaac actually puts his differences aside with Dexter to join him, which I thought was crazy. And again, his storyline is so interesting because you can actually relate to what he's doing, but he's so intimidating when you're on his, when you're on the opposite side of him. He's such an interesting character, and the actor brought such charisma to his character. I gotta say, and it's probably a very unpopular opinion, besides the Trinity Killer, he's my favorite villain on the show. Mostly because of the perspective. You actually can't argue with what he's doing. And I love that they give us a full villain group with a guy that actually turns on him. And then he has to put his differences aside with Dexter to get revenge on this guy and to, basically get out on top. I thought it was such an interesting storyline for him. And Isaac was for sure the standout for me this season. Now, we've got a few other storylines going on with the mob as well, too. You've got Quinn this season, who falls in love with, this woman who is also played by the actress that plays Little Nina on The Boys, which I thought was pretty interesting. But Quinn has a badass storyline this season. He finds out the horrible things that George is doing to her, and he legitimately actually goes up against him, and he defends this woman. And it's not because, he's a simp like he was last season, just sleeping around. He legitimately cares about this woman, and you can actually tell. They had a really good on-screen chemistry, I must say, the actors, and I thought it was really well done. You can definitely tell the fear that she had against George and against, some of these people, and it really felt like she was just locked down, you know what I'm saying? And I love that they made Quinn actually really a big character. He had a big storyline. He actually did what was right. But he was paid off by the mob for a good amount of time this season. And then eventually he broke out of it. He protected her. And he went up against George and he did his damn thing. And he killed him and then framed him and made it seem like as if that this guy, did that to himself. And Quinn came out as an ultimate hero. This season for Quinn is absolutely fucking amazing. It's really good. I like that they give him a massive storyline and they actually make him a huge player now in this storyline. It was really good. I felt like the group overall was kind of anticlimactic in the way that they concluded them, but I enjoyed Quinn and I enjoyed the way that all went down. I thought that was all really good. Okay, look, I would love to say that this season is perfect. It almost was, admittedly. However, I do have some problems with this season, and we're gonna delve into that now. Isaac's death is absolutely fucking horrendous. It's absolutely terrible. You finally give him a redemption story, a really good one too. And then George just pops up and fucking shoots him and then runs away like a little bitch. And then he bleeds out. Dexter's trying to save his life, and basically he dies. He straight up dies. And again, I understand killing Isaac off. I understand killing his character, but it felt like they just did his redemption, and then before you knew it, he was dead. And in particular, and this is why I don't like his death at all, is the second that you kill Isaac's character, you bring in this one episode villain that burns people on buses and burns people in elevators and stuff. And he's the villain. And this is when shit gets really stupid, because you introduce this character named Hannah this season, alright? And she is a mass murderer, okay? She kills innocent people. Hannah is fucked in the head, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason this season, Dexter gets in her pants, they end up getting it on, even on his kill table, you know what I'm saying? And Dexter does not kill Hannah this entire season. Even though she completely fits the code, even though she completely fits everything that Dexter is, against, she doesn't die. Dexter doesn't kill her. And I must admit, this is the first time I do legitimately have a flaw with Dexter's character. Why are you not killing her? Why? Because you're thinking with your dick. You're not thinking with your mind. Hannah this season is nothing but a just plain love interest for Dexter, a mass murderer that does not answer for any of her crimes, and Dexter should have killed her right away. I mean, honestly, I don't understand. And it gets worse, too, because this woman here, she's all nice, and she's planting her gardens, and she's doing all this stuff. She tries to mask it, but, underneath, Hannah is an absolute murderer. You know what I'm saying? And you get her father that shows up for an episode, which was, probably one of the funniest introductions to a character I've ever seen in my entire life. You literally see this, creep. You don't even know who he is yet. You find out it's her father later on, but you see this creep outside her window being like, "Hi, banana." I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on here right now? I don't know what the hell was going on. But anyway, he basically just shows up. You spend this entire episode with him just to find out that he wants money from his daughter. So Dexter drives him away, and you know what happens? Dexter does not kill the burner guy, the guy that kills innocent people on buses. He doesn't kill the guy that burns people alive. He lets him go, but he ends up capturing Hannah's father, but kills him. Hannah's father is just a pest that wants money, but Dexter lets the burner guy go? What is the logic in this writing? Dexter kills somebody that doesn't fit the code, but lets someone go that does fit the code. Can someone explain this to me? I don't understand. I don't understand I don't get it at all. And they literally give it to you right in front of you. Dexter lets the mass murder, burner guy go, who completely deserves death, but he kills an innocent man that wanted money. I don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. They've completely broken the code this season, and I don't get what the writers are trying to do. I really don't. But in the finale, we get probably one of the greatest moments of the entire series. And that finale in general was absolutely incredible. Besides Hannah is such an annoying character. I can't stand her. They try their best to get you to like her. It does not fucking work. But, I mean, on top of everything else, she poisons Deb, and she literally gets her in the hospital. And you mean to tell me that Dexter just doesn't kill her? He doesn't get rid of her at all. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Dexter is such a simp this season, it's not even funny. And that pains me, man, because I love Dexter, but I have to admit, he was a fucking simp this season. I don't get why he just can't get rid of her, you know what I'm saying? Or at least turn her in. It took him so goddamn long. It took his sister being in the hospital for him to even potentially think of an idea to come after her. And he still didn't do it until way later on. I don't get it. It absolutely made no sense. But whatever. Now, we also get to see this season Batista, which I will highlight. Batista kind of opens up a restaurant on the side of his job. So Batista is now running a restaurant. Love to see that. Love Batista. Batista is one of the best characters on this show. But in the finale, we get to it. LaGuerta finally has the information on Dexter. And LaGuerta actually goes to Dexter's house, arrests him, and brings him into Miami Metro for questioning. And everybody thinks, no, he's innocent. LaGuerta, you're crazy. What are you thinking, But she's fucking right. That's the thing. She's fucking right. But nobody believes her, even though she has all this evidence on Dexter. And they do something that I just thought was so damn good. I loved the way they did this. They brought back Dokes for 3 flashbacks over the course of the finale. And you actually see the first time that Dexter slipped up and showed his fascination in blood, murderers, and all this other stuff. And Dokes picks up on the fact that, hey, this guy is sus. What's going on with Dexter? You know what I'm saying? So crazy. I mean, they literally call the finale Surprise Motherfucker. Seriously goated for them on the writers to bring the actor back. And it all led up to why Dokes suspected Dexter. And it all led up to why LaGuerta is getting revenge for Dokes. Insane. Now, this season, they let out Estrada, who was the guy that, of course, was responsible for killing Dexter's mother. and they let him out free, out of jail after all these years. Dexter takes it upon himself to take him down, but it is a trap, and he is lured there by LaGuerta because the LaGuerta knows that Dexter would kill this guy. And Dexter does kill this guy, but LaGuerta catches him. And the second that LaGuerta catches him, Dexter takes her out. And he basically puts a needle in her neck, and she's knocked unconscious. So now Dexter has a choice. Does he kill LaGuerta, or does he not kill LaGuerta? And of course, Deb, knowing what Dexter does, Deb finds LaGuerta knocked out while Dexter is ready to chop her into pieces. And Deb has a choice to make. Does she kill her brother, or does she kill LaGuerta? What does she do? I felt like I was in a fucking video game, admittedly. Like when she's like, all right, who do you choose, Dexter or LaGuerta? You know? And I don't think anybody would disagree with me on this. She should have killed Dexter. Absolutely. And that's the brilliance of the story, is that you see the downfall of what happens because of her not doing that. But that's season 8. Season 7, though, ending it with her deciding to shoot LaGuerta, and we actually lose LaGuerta to Dexter. Wow. What an insane moment for Deb. What an insane death. What an insane finale in general. It legitimately felt like you were starting to build to the conclusion of the show. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I couldn't say anything else, but it was one of the greatest ends to a season I've ever seen. It was insane. Absolutely mind-boggling. So what I would say overall is this season's great. The villains are great. The story is great. The writing is mostly great. And I think overall the finale and the conclusion of LaGuerta and the Doak stuff in particular is amazing. I also will admit that there are flaws. I don't like the way they take Isaac out. I think that was really fast and really poorly executed. And you could have used him a hell of a lot more. Hannah is my least favorite thing this whole season. I don't like her character. I don't like what she stands for. I find her so frustrating in the story. They literally make Dexter a simp. It's annoying as hell. But yeah, overall, I'd say this season, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it at least deserves that because it has some of the highest highs of the show that you'll ever see. I mean, it has some of the highest highs that the show will ever have. So yeah, there you go. That is Dexter Season 7. Absolutely mind-boggling season. Absolutely insane season of television. And I can't get over how insane it was. It was crazy. So let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think of Dexter Season 7? Are you excited, of course, to be wrapping up with Season 8? Probably in about a week or so, we're going to cap off Season 8 of Dexter. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. So thank you all for watching. Post your comments down below. What do you think of Season 7 of Dexter? And do you agree that though it's flawed, it's definitely the best season since Season 4? Because I definitely think it is. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe and you don't miss any other videos for Dexter. Be sure to follow me on Dan's Views Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Dexter. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.